Wrong on plenty of both. Here we go.
Where Colin was right.
We've been saying this now. The Rams, Stan Kroenke's greenlighting all of this. LeBron's in town and winning. The Dodgers are rolling. LA's never had more quality teams. Even the Clippers are good now. What did they do this weekend? They outdueled the Niners, the Colts, the Patriots reportedly. The reality is this is Stan Kroenke. Spent about $4 billion more in the stadium than he wanted. And they couldn't put any people in it this year. And he has told the organization, I'm not finishing third and fourth in this market. We're the NFL. We're going to win this market. And this is a real thing inside the building. It's the reality of being in a market with LeBron and being in a market with the Dodgers is that you got to win in Los Angeles. Nobody can afford 3 season tickets. And they were hyper-aggressive as we've predicted.
Where Colin was right.
Matt Stafford said, I'll go anywhere but New England. Now, I love the Patriots style, but I've said now, over the last year, you take Brady out and the system's not as attractive. I said for years, when Brady leaves, New England will no longer be a topic on our show day in, day out. Now, part of it is this year, Brady's so great, they were so bad. They have no weapons. Belichick tends to have a fairly rigid system. They don't spend on free agents. And this goes to show you that quarterbacks, don't give me this Matt Patricia thing, quarterbacks want weapons. Peyton Manning chose Denver, they had weapons. Brady chose Tampa, they had weapons. Tampa wasn't a winning franchise. They had weapons. Stafford wants to throw to great players. He's been unable to, mostly outside of Calvin Johnson in Detroit, and New England's not attractive when you take out Tom because they don't have anybody else on offense.
Where Colin was wrong.
Listen, I defended Jared Goff for 2-3 years. I thought he was going to be in L.A. forever. I think he's a good kid. I don't think he's needy. I've said I think he reminds me of Matt Ryan, but throws a better deep ball. He won a ton. He got to a Super Bowl. He was 42-20 with Sean McVay. I don't know what happened this year. He lost a lot of confidence. His fumbling got really, really bad. That Dolphins game where Miami had 8 first downs and beat them. They lose to the Jets. I don't know if it's confidence. I don't know what it was. It wasn't just a broken hand. They benched him essentially up in Seattle. They benched him for a game. And so I'm wrong on that. I thought he was going to be around for a long time.
Where Colin was right.
The Texans was not going to get filled, I kept saying. It's a bad job. Eric Bieniemy, do not take the job. Reality is David Culley's a nice guy, but you don't hire a 64-year-old, 65-year-old that's never even been a coordinator if he's really the top guy on your list. That he's not. He accepted the job. He wasn't going to get a head coaching job, and this is what he's going to get. Now, who knows what happens with Deshaun Watson. It'll be hard not to win some games. But this now feels like a cult. The stories out of Houston make this a completely undesirable job, and you can have a great quarterback. That's fine. But in the end, you cannot win in this league if 16 out of 16 weeks you have worse schemes and worse coaching. And Houston now can almost guarantee that.
Where Colin was wrong.
The Sixers are 14-1 when Embiid and Ben Simmons play together. I've never thought it works. Embiid now is playing like the MVP of the league. Simmons always gives you about the same numbers. But Doc Rivers has helped because Tobias Harris used to be a Clipper, and right now Tobias Harris is playing great basketball. He's averaging 20+, and he was always about a 16, 17-point-a-game player. So the Doc Rivers thing is working. Embiid and Simmons are working. And, I'll say this about Doc Rivers. I should never doubt him. Doc Rivers, that Boston championship team had a lot of egos. Rondo was prickly, and Garnett was the man, and Paul Pierce had been the man, and here comes Ray Allen. He just made it work. There are certain coaches, Joe Torre of the Yankees had this. There's a fatherly kind of a respect. They're like the stepdad that you don't want to tick off, And there's something about Doc Rivers making it work in Philadelphia, 14-1 when Embiid and Simmons play.
Where Colin was right.
Seattle's offense, players don't like it. I've been told that multiple times the last 2 years about Pete Carroll's offense. And last week, DK Metcalf came out and said, we run, pass. We run, pass. Teams figured us out. That is the second Seahawk player who I've heard from that has said they're getting bored. They don't feel their schemes are up to par. And now players are saying it publicly. Russell Wilson's just too nice. He'll say nice things, go Hawks. DK Metcalf, not so nice, brutally honest, called out Seattle.
Where Colin was right.
You cannot win with KD, Kyrie Irving, and James Harden. You got to move Kyrie. He's a terrible defensive player. The Brooklyn Nets last night gave up 149 points to Washington. It didn't go to overtime. That was regulation. Last 8 games, 7 of them, they've given up 123 points or more. Listen, it's not all about talent in this league. KD and Harden, with good supporting players, can win the East. I have no doubt in my mind. But the idea that Kyrie and Harden are going to work, they're both terrible on the defensive end, and everybody is exposing them.
Where Colin was wrong.
You know, I'm wrong on this one. I always say Aaron Rodgers feels more California cool than Milwaukee or Green Bay. You know, he dates celebrities. He's got all the national commercials. He's the hipster. I'm wrong. A video has surfaced with Aaron Rodgers in the back of a pickup truck with a case of Bud Light and has confirmed it's him. My bad. That is the most Green Bay, Milwaukee, Midwest thing ever. I will never reference California again, despite his Malibu house. Aaron has said, yes, this is me. Can you imagine driving around Green Bay and Aaron Rodgers in the back of a pickup truck?
I can't say I imagined that visual, no. At the same time, I couldn't have imagined it. It still doesn't actually surprise me. He seems to love Green Bay. He just wraps his arms around everything there.
Yeah. Jimmy Johnson now joining us live, brought to you by Michelob Ultra, 95 calories, 2.6 grams of carbs. It's only worth it if you enjoy it. One of the great football coaches, 2-time Super Bowl champ, college football champ of all